We started dating when I was 18, and he was 27, but 16 years later I realized I wasted my life. We met when I was 16. I was obsessed with him, but he wasn't interested in me. We fell out of contact and then met again. When we started our relationship, we were actually in a very equal place. I know the age gap is off-putting, but it was never an issue. We were both working similar retail jobs. We earned similar money. We have the same education level. We enjoyed the same things. We hated the same things. We were just incredibly compatible. We didn't argue for the first 2 to 3 years of our relationship. He supported everything I chose to do. He cheered me on. He was amazing and vibrant and unconditionally loving. During our 16-year relationship, I have continued to push my career. I now own my own business, fairly successful, to the point where it essentially runs itself, and I just work there. I have learned languages. My tastes in music and film has changed. I am not the same person we were when we met, but he is. 3 years ago, he had a traumatic incident in his workplace. He and his employees were held up at gunpoint. During the incident, he ended up getting pushed down the stairs to the cellar and broke his collarbone. He has had some therapy, but gave up after about 3 months when the therapist allegedly said, "You're all better," which is BS, but hey ho, I can't force him. The reason for not working was his collarbone, but I think, no, it's more to do with PTSD, because his shoulder doesn't affect him that much day to day. He has not been able to go back to work, which is fine. Financially, we are fine. Could always be better, but we survive better than some. But he doesn't do anything around the house. He thinks he does, but he really doesn't. He tells me he does, but there's no evidence of it. For sake of argument, let's look at last night. I had a really long day in work, nightmare customer, and nothing just seemed to go right no matter what I did. So at one point in the day, I sent him a message saying I could really use a big old cuddle when I get in. His response, "Don't worry about a thing. Dogs will be walked. House will be tidy, and tea will be ready when you walk through the door." Do you want to take a guess what I was met with when I walked in? Dogs needed to be walked. House was a mess, which I don't understand. It was tidy when I left. We don't have kids and the dogs haven't used the 6 dishes that are in the sink. And not even a thought of what tea was supposed to be, let alone it being ready. I didn't say anything. I just gave him a kiss and started doing the washing up. I was really upset that nothing he said would be done, was done. But I didn't want to argue. I just wanted it done. As soon as I start washing up, he says, "Oh babe, don't worry about that. I'll do it now." Now I didn't mean this any other way than what I said, but I replied with, "It's fine, I'm here now. I'll have it done in a minute," which I did. But in that minute, he had gone upstairs and started to hoover. Fine, great, wonderful. A minute after that, he is banging the head of the hoover on the floor, and literally having a tantrum because he has managed to block the hoover, which he then throws to the ground and storms off. So now I have to fix the hoover, which I do, because surprisingly slamming the head of the hoover on the floor won't clear the blockage. So after I fix the hoover, and proceed to clean the carpets, I go back downstairs. He is now sat on the chair in the kitchen, claiming that he has had a terrible day, and that he is so incredibly underappreciated. Aghast, but still not wanting an argument, I tell him I am sorry I have made him feel that way. Harness the dogs and take them out. Bear in mind, I got out of work at 5 p.m., got home, tidied up, etc. They are high energy breeds and need a good run. So by the time I get back at 7:20 p.m., it's pitch black out, and he was worried about me. And because he was worried, he hasn't put tea on yet, so I do that. I left for work at 6:30 a.m., and I am still going. He goes through ups and downs, of doing everything, and doing nothing. But this pattern of promising me things and then never following, though, is happening a lot more recently, and ever increasingly, I am being blamed for his shortcomings. If something goes bad in the day, it's because I didn't do XYZ, although oftentimes he hasn't told me XYZ needed doing, or he has told me not to do it. I have had the conversation with him many times about the fact I am not a mind reader, and sometimes we have to talk to actually achieve an outcome. In the 16 years we have been together, I have become an adult. I run a house and a business. I have duties. I have people who rely on me. He doesn't want that, and that's fine, but he's doing nothing to help his partner either. He says he feels underappreciated, but I know I am underappreciated. Is this the whole sunk cost fallacy thing? We have been together so long. Our lives are completely entangled. I never wanted to get married. I wanted kids at one point, but I feel like I have delayed that because I think deep down I don't know if I want them with him. He feels like the same person I met 18 years ago, and I feel like somebody completely different. I thought we would grow together, but he is never going to change, is he? And I am just an idiot for thinking he would grow with me. I don't want to end my relationship. Who would get the dogs? There is too big a fear of the unknown. It's too difficult and painful to have a clean break. And despite all of this, I can't imagine my life without him. But this isn't the life I imagined. I feel like I am being awful. I feel like I need to do more, but I don't have anything left. But I can't say that because then he will say that I am purposefully trying to make him feel bad. I am just exhausted.